Cradle, Dogs of Fount, Chapter 38, Part 3. Out in the bustling pedway that was leading to a mini shopping segment, Boba opened her arms as if to introduce Arturo to her domain. "We'll take the stairs down, and it is just as good because my car should arrive by the time we make it to the pavilion," Boba explained. Arturo understood why she wanted to take the stairs. On the east side of the stairwell, there was a massive aquarium that was teeming with sea life and color. Arturo stared at the sharks and manta rays while a couple of schools of tropical fish seemed to dance. The aquarium was apparently 4 levels tall, and who knew how far back it went. "We here in our city respect life, General," Boba added. The general looked back at her and smiled. They made it to the first floor, and the lobby dripped in luxury. Perfect mood lighting, artful furniture, and cleanliness apparent from all the corners of the space. "Your city sure can seduce," Arturo stated. "And you've seen so little," she said. The air poured into them as they stepped out into the heat of the day. Boba pointed toward the sleek black quad car. "That's my car." They walked toward the sexy machine, and the curbside door unlatched and swung open slowly. Arturo guessed correctly. Everything was automated in the quad. They got into the leather-clad cabin and sat across from each other as the quad lifted up and exited the pavilion and rose even higher in the air. "This is the model for how the world will be reborn, a healthier civilization and a better life for everyone," Bess commented. "Everyone?" Arturo asked. "If you are referring to the wild population, there are measures being researched to help them willfully assimilate. They are such a small portion of humanity at this point that I believe their fate is already sealed," she explained. "I believe in freedom," Arturo added. She laughed momentarily and motioned toward the resplendent cityscape. "What do you see here?" "You are looking at it, General." He looked at the amazing metropolis, but felt somewhat not fully on board with it all. "I think you are married," Boba stated. He smirked, but continued to look out the windows. "How so?" he asked. "You don't seem free." She brushed his shin with her foot, ambiguous, whether purposely or just happenstance. "You seem to be a man of passion, and something back in Fount is controlling you. I see it." "I am a man of freedom." He looked back at her from the window. "The only one who controls me is our God." He looked back out the window. "A man of faith?" "A man of truth," he said firmly. "You are truly a gem, Arturo. There's more to you than you put on, right?" He didn't answer. They smiled at each other. After a few moments of both of them looking out at the city, Boba still intrigued almost as much as him. They sat and enjoyed the ride in silence. They were slowing down, approaching one of the buildings with a number of trees growing on and throughout the building. "You stay here?" he asked. She smiled as the quad lowered among the trees to a dirt pad in front of the glass entrance to her residence. They got out, and Arturo looked around at this patch of trees and followed a flock of small birds from one end to the other shortly. She was looking at him as he remembered where he was. Her wrist rested next to her hips, and she glowed with a smile. He had to look away or get stiff. They walked the stone and gravel path to the door of glass and entered a spacey and holistic-looking kitchen with steel appliances and ranges. She took her shoes off next to the door. Arturo did the same and looked for any men's shoes other than a few pair of small feminine ones already there. There weren't any, and he didn't know what to feel. "There's a great view of the bay from upstairs," she said, and walked onto the white carpet bordering the comfortable living room. He let her put some space between them, and then began to follow her past the living room and up the cozy lit steps leading to the second level, or he guessed. Knowing her power, there could have been more floors than he knew about or readily saw. She slipped into a doorway at the end of the short hallway, and light flooded the area. Inside, she stood in front of the glass panes, reaching impressively high to the white ceiling.